friends, Kathy here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about stress. And we all experience it, it's universal, but prolonged stress over a long period of time is not what our bodies were made to manage in a healthy way. It has some really serious health effects, and a lot of us are dealing with that, and we kind of get used to it as the norm, but it's still not healthy at all. For instance, there's a 2015 study from the National Institutes of Health about prolonged stress, work-related stress specifically. And this particular study was done with software engineers who are on these deadlines to get their releases ready 3 to 4 times a year. Pretty typical for that type of work environment. So throughout this study, they were monitoring things like variability of heart rate and even things like mental health. So what they found is there's a significant increase, obviously, in the cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and that deeply affects all these different systems of the body. So these people were more at risk for mental health issues like anxiety and depression. They were more apt to have physical symptoms. I have a client who actually dealt with a breathing issue. Doctors tested everything that had to do with the physical health, and they finally said, we think this is a manifestation of anxiety, and it's affecting your ability to breathe deeply and fully. So we were able to resolve that with yoga, meditation, and breath work. But moving on to some of these other impacts, your behaviors are altered by this long-term management of stress, just trying to cope. You end up trying to cope rather than thriving. You're just trying to survive. Productivity, decision-making, all of these mental clarity types of tasks are reduced when you are dealing with long-term stress. You can also see that these people were, in the data from this particular study, they were at more risk for metabolic syndrome because their immune system was being affected, their cardiovascular system was being affected. Cortisol is an insulin. It messes with our body's natural ability to manage our blood sugar, so the insulin gets off. There's a lot that can go south with our health, mental, physical, emotional health, when we are dealing with long-term stress. And when I say long-term, it's like months, weeks and months at a time, or maybe even years, depending upon your situation. They definitely have multitude of effects, this stress long-term on your mental, emotional, physical well-being. That's the bad news. The good news is, because we do live in a high-stress culture, it does not have to take as much toll on you if you have ways in which to release the stress from your body, to calm the mind and allow the stress hormones and everything to come back down to equilibrium. And you are allowed to release the tension from the muscles and the tissues, because this prolonged stress, when it doesn't go away, it starts to build. The muscles and tissues in the body hold it. And that also contributes to these physical symptoms. So I have options. There are many ways to address this. I work with folks to use an all-natural approach. We do therapeutic mindful movement. It is a form of yoga. We use conscious controlled breath work, which helps with regulating the heart rate. It helps to calm the mind. It helps to really soothe the nervous system, because that's what's happening when this is going on long term. The nervous system stays in this heightened state of arousal. We were made to deal with stress for short periods of time. Like, you see the animal that you need to catch so you can eat dinner. So you go and you run and you hunt and you catch the food. Or in another case, you may see danger. You need to run from a predator. But you are able to then discharge all these hormones by running and getting away, making a change to keep you safe and prolong your health and well-being. But you also, that stressor goes away. So you either catch the food or you escape the predator, but you are not staying in this heightened state. That's where we end up being in the modern world sometimes. And because it stays up here and we don't, all of us know ways to bring the body and mind and the physical chemicals within the body back down to an equilibrium, the body isn't able to cope with that long term. So, using breath work, yoga, meditation, which also, again, scientifically proven to help with variability of the heart rate, help with releasing tension, help with clarity of mind, and with mental relaxation, clearing the mind, not completely of all thought, but allowing the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm, this build up to release and let go. It's kind of like a release valve so that you don't have an explosion. It's a really easy way, really easy metaphor to think of. So I tell you all of this to let you know I am actually working very hard to bring this to more people. And I want this relaxation, this calm, this release of stress, and this relief from anxiety that a lot of people are feeling. And so I'm doing a giveaway for 1 month of complimentary one-on-one sessions with me. They will be focused on anxiety and stress management, but we can also get into other therapeutic needs if you have an old injury, if you're recovering from surgery, if you have an autoimmune condition. We can get into dealing with some of those things because I'm working with you one-on-one. And so we can be very targeted and very mindful of what we want to address. The link to register for this giveaway is in the comments below. If you have any questions about what this is involved and how we go about doing it, or anything at all regarding this work, please place it in the comments or reach out to me directly. I'm happy to answer questions. And this giveaway is going to be going on through the month of October. I'm looking to work with a handful of people doing this work and getting you feeling really good. And this, you have this, after we do this work, you begin to have this really deep steadiness inside, so that when the stress comes, you're just much more able, much more skilled at managing it, so that you don't have the same level of heightened arousal. You can manage things a little more with a little less reactivity. And also, I'll give you some tools for those in the moment times when you really need a tool to bring down the anxiety, or you need a tool to calm your nervous system. You're in a high pressure or tense situation or conversation, or there's a conflict that you are in the middle of and have to deal with. You can't just step away and do lots of different exercises, but you need something in the moment. I will provide you some of those simple tools. Nobody else will even know that you are doing them, but they will help to calm the nervous system, keep you mentally clear so that you can think clearly in these difficult situations where you do need to make decisions, and you need to be able to handle conflict. You need to be able to move forward and make progress. But they also help you to calm yourself in that moment so that you don't increase the stress that you might already be dealing with. So, any questions, please let me know. Link to register is in the comments below. And I look forward to hearing your questions. I'm excited to get to work with some people who are ready to make this shift into better handling the stress that life dishes out. Because it's there. It comes to us in the form of work stress, family stress, relationships. Like, we're all dealing with it. And if everybody had better skills at managing it, I think it would make an incredible difference in the quality of life, in your relationships, your productivity, the culture that you are part of in your work, and in the community as a whole. So that is my mission. And I look forward to getting these entries for this giveaway and hearing questions from you. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.